Hi everyone. So today I'm joined by Toby Mackay. He's in the hot seat, and I wanted to get Toby on camera because he joined DataX Connect some 9 months ago now, and he works fully remotely and has had loads of successes. So he's here today to tell us about his story. So hand over to you.
Thanks for having us first of all, Annie. My story is I started recruitment 5 years ago out of real estate market. I did real estate at the Royal Agricultural College and then went straight to London to do recruitment. Originally started off in London real estate, found that with COVID and pre-COVID, with the markets at the time, that it just wasn't a thing that was really happening. So very quickly moved into the European data center market, and from there it's just sort of grown for the last 4 years into sort of primarily doing the US. As sort of previous firm I worked with was predominantly US general construction.
Okay, cool. So tell us about why you decided to join DataX Connect. What was that journey like for you?
It was sort of the 4-day working week for me is the biggest thing. For me, I also sort of grew up in agriculture and horticulture, so quite fortunate that I've got the farm to go back to. And
Toby's part-time job is working on the farm.
Yeah, part-time job, and sort of balancing 5 days a week in London, the travelling back and forth to London for weekends, and then working at home at the weekends was starting to take its toll a bit. And the 4-day week was something that really appealed to me. The working remotely was something else that really appealed to me, because since then I've then got my dog as well now, which was always something always wanted, was to be able to train a dog, and it just sort of all fell into place at the start of the year, around February sort of time now.
Okay, great. And you reached out to us, didn't you? You reached out to Andy, was that right?
Yeah, I was in contact with Andy. Andy is through sort of his own sort of social media platform, his podcast. Andy is someone, if you're not working with directly, you know Andy in the market, because he gets some amazing individuals involved with his podcasts. They're very informative. He does his weekly sort of news reports. So Andy is actually someone that I've known in the market for probably a year, since he really started his podcasts, and just followed closer and closer over the last sort of year and a half. And then just after Christmas, just around Christmas, Andy and I sort of came into contact, started talking, and then mid-January, Andy asked us to come down to meet he and Liam, and so the rest is good history. Been good fun, and learnt a lot with Andy, and been given a great opportunity to sort of be at the forefront of the US and help DataX sort of break that market. Obviously, EMEA is where we're best known, followed by APAC, and Andy and I are now sort of pushing that US side now.
And we are hiring for more recruiters to join the DataX Connect team, and Toby's a shining example of why a fully remote position, and how it can work. You're in Surrey full time, aren't you?
Yeah,
and come to the office probably once a quarter.
Yeah, once a quarter, pop down for sort of the day, sometimes 2 days, but predominantly sort of very remote, and come down as and when, or for sort of meetings, or for events and so on. But if you're someone that sort of has got other things at home, it's a great place to be, and sort of it gives you a chance to sort of do other things outside of work. Work is obviously a hugely important part, but for me, being with the farm and everything at home, having that balance between work and sort of home life is hugely sort of beneficial. And London is amazing, great fun. Would always recommend going to London if you sort of want to just give it a go, but it takes its toll, sort of especially the commuting, the travelling does take its toll after a while, and you sort of lose out on other things elsewhere and other opportunities. And the best one for me is my dog.
Yeah. And you are about to be promoted. You've been here 9 months, absolutely smashed your earnings, and due to be promoted. What's been your biggest success since starting with DataX?
I think probably the biggest success is obviously joining a company that is unknown in the US market, but very well known in the European market, and going from no one to now building sort of very successful relationships with sort of free clients. They're now looking at sort of working with us on a global level as well, that previously hadn't had that door open to.
Yeah.
They wanted sort of us to break into their main markets first, so then get the opportunities to prove ourselves there. And now sort of we're looking at sort of working with one of those clients both in our APAC regions and our European regions, alongside the primary one being the US.
Amazing. Yeah, really amazing.
There's some great opportunities for DataX as a whole and people that sort of come on board. Andy is a great sort of teacher. Emily in learning and development's been sort of hugely helpful to me in sort of refining things, improving things, and there's sort of a great deal of opportunity with DataX.
Great. Just want to check that it's still. Okay, I'll cut that bit. And lastly, why should someone else apply to work for DataX Connect if they are not in our local area? What advice can you give to them, and why should they apply?
There's great opportunities, primarily great opportunities to grow, develop, further your career. There's opportunities to grow within the team, be that with the EMEA team or most importantly the US team, and it just gives you a great balance between life. There isn't a need to be in the office 24/7. It's very much sort of, Andy's very flexible when you come down, how much time you spend in the office, which is, if you are sort of 2-3 hours away. For myself, I'm just shy of 2 hours. It gives you a great sort of team to be a part of, and also gives you a great opportunity without having to commit either commuting every day into London or commuting into a city centre every day.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to seeing your new promotion news,
Yeah,
and
looking forward to it.
see where your career goes.